everyone. We're very excited to be here today for July's office hours. Thank you for joining us. Today, our topic is investing in our communities. What does that mean? The agenda slide is on next with all the details. Our dear Brett, our usual host with the most, isn't here today. So, my name is Anat, and I'll be covering for Brett along with Mauro. We're both from the communities team. So, here's the agenda for today. We'll start with a few quick announcements. Then Mauro will take a few minutes to announce two and very exciting community roles. Then you'll have the time to ask questions about the new community roles. After that, I'll take a few minutes to share updates about editor recruitment and mentoring. And then we'll pass the microphone to Talia from Product and Judith from UX to talk about the next big thing for WME, Suggest and Edit. The last part of today's office hours will be dedicated to your questions about Suggest and Edit. That's our agenda. Now, a quick note about today's Q&A. As you saw on the agenda, we're doing two Q&As, one for each topic, but they'll have the same link. Please first only submit questions about new roles for Mauro, and then later we'll start taking questions for Talia and Judith about Suggest and Edit. Danit is sharing the link in the chat right now. Okay, now on to the general announcements. First, the Partner Hub now has a new section, the Editor's Community page. Partners can use it to learn about communities in their area and find contact information for their local communities. Isn't that exciting? And second, a new French TTS voice was born. David went live to the app today. Also, two new prompt voices for Arabic are going to beta this week. They're called Mohammed and Hayat. Both of these Arabic voices have two versions, one for female drivers and another for male drivers. Congratulations to our French and Arabic-speaking drivers and to everyone who was involved in launching these exciting new voices. Those are our general announcements for today. And now I'll hand it over to Mauro, who's going to talk about two new and very exciting community roles.
Hi, everyone. It's really nice to see you all today. As Anat mentioned, we're taking over this week from Brett, who is in a few meetups in the US. And I have a very exciting topic to talk to you about. As you know, we're always thinking of new ways to improve our community and basically understand what new things or what we could be doing better. In one of the feedbacks that we got from you last year, we understood that our leadership needs a little bit to be diversified in a way, because we have thought about our community leadership like a long time ago. And as you know, we are all very different. We all come from very different backgrounds. We all act different. We all map differently. We all think differently. And it was really important for us to try to reflect more ways in which people are true community leaders. And this is why I'm really excited to share with you today two new roles that we are still collecting feedback about. So I will be more than happy to hear from you in this Q&A, or also if you want to share feedback with your community manager or other members of staff. So the first community role is called Mega Mappers. And this is a role that is exclusively based on numbers and based on the quality of edits. These are contributors who edit heavily the map. The people who is going to be qualified to be a mega mapper is exclusively for more than level 4. That means level 4, 5, and 6. They are also people who really and deeply understand in the map what is challenging, the in and outs, and they can contribute with a lot of feedback that we can get back for our product development. They are very detail oriented and technical. And as I said, their feedback is going to be essential for us to develop new capabilities to bring back to you guys, and also for our users to see and improve mobility around the world. Um, what I'll also like to share about this group is that our goal is to include them in exclusive and smaller focus groups or calls with the members of our product development, so that we can basically, as I said, collect feedback and make them part of our early development stages. Um, the second role that I would like to share about is called culture chair. And as opposed to mega mappers, these are very highly social and motivators, members of the community. I'm sure that you can easily think of these people who get the party on, and it's always great to talk to them and to connect with, and they are really good at explaining things, to generate to come up with Waze cafes and try to find new ways to connect formally or informally about the Waze community. They are really great in our view to plan and coordinate outreach events such as meetups and Waste cafes. We need, as you know, we do events around the world, and sometimes it's challenging when we are not with our hands on the ground. So what we believe that this would be a great help for our operations team. And they would also be a great assistant to mentors and mentor coordinators, which are two roles that we already have. And as we are growing, that this is something that in a few minutes my colleagues are going to discuss more. But as we are focusing on more and more on community growth, so it's really important that the path to join the community is way and way more smooth. So we think that culture chairs could play a great role in this. Um, I want to leave a few minutes to answer your questions. And of course, we're still getting feedback about these roles, but we are really excited to make this available in the near future. I'm not going to say soon to you all. But let's see if you guys have any questions about it. As Denise said, you can add all your questions in the link that we already have, or you can decide to share this feedback with directly with your community manager. Um, let's see if we have any questions about it, or if we have any questions in the chat. Thank you, Juan, for the feedback.
Okay, we have one question.
All right, let's see the question. Will there be any rank increases with the roles? No, not necessarily. These roles are they will have an exclusive title, like totally separate and not attached to the roles. Of course, as I said, like in order to qualify to be a mega mapper, you will need to be level 4 an app. But so these will be people who will be already experienced in editing. Like they will not be unknown. We hope they will not be going to be unknown to the community leaders or to the coordinators. I see another question in the chat. Who decides to get these new roles? So we at the communities team are going to work. So let me separate, because like the answer is there's two different answers to this. For the culture share, both community managers and coordinators will think about this, and they will make the decisions of who are going to become culture shares. Regarding mega mappers, and as I mentioned, since they are purely contribution based, so we at the communities team will pull out a list of everyone who would be qualified in our view to become a mega mapper. Again, not anyone under level 4. And these will be reviewed by also every community manager. Like if this is a potential candidate for Brazil, so I am to be the one who is going to review them before um, before they actually become a mega mapper. Um, and so there's not really an action, and as an answer to the question that I have on screen, there's nothing really that you need to do, or you don't really apply to these roles, but we actually nominate to you for these roles, either together with coordinators for the culture share, or just within us for the within the communities team. Now, something that I would like to clarify about, and some because some questions came up at the coordinators forum about it, is that we know that some people, like about the mega mappers role, we know that some people might um, focus more on volumes of edits, and the quality of their edits might not be amazing. But and also, like, there's some people we know that unfortunately there's some people who take advantage to cheat within the community. So we do have in place processes to um, to um, to regulate this, or to tackle this. We've got an exclusive forums that everyone can report, and if there is any worry about being someone editing poorly, and also since we're talking about level for an app, so these should be people that mostly, for the most part, coordinators will be familiar with. Um, I see another question, which is important. Are the oh, sorry. Will it be visible on the WME user profile? So that's a good question. We are working on a on exclusive badge, but we haven't reached yet the stage of the WME user profile. As I said, like, we're still collecting feedback, so it's not clear yet, but it's really good feedback. Let's see. Do we get to keep the role permanently? Will be taken away after a certain amount of time? Great question as well. So I'm not going to talk. I'm going to put aside the culture chair for a second now. For the mega mapper, these will be a role that we will assess every twice a year. So every 6 months, we will assess um, edits, and the mega mappers will be invited to join exclusive sessions and to pass their feedback on to us if they're qualify for the next half of a year. How many mega mappers will there be in each country? That's a good question. So we've got some metrics which we don't want to share so much, so that people don't really take advantage of it. But we want to make sure that our at least we have one mega mapper per focus country. The statistics shows that there will be way more um, in bigger countries, but we're not going to be limiting them. Let's say, like in the US, that we have our largest community, so we're not going to put a cap on them. Everyone who qualifies under our metrics, they should be able to become a mega mapper. Will there be any perks in becoming a mega mapper, or it's purely a community title? So yes, as I said, they're going to be invited to very intimate calls with our members of our staff to in order to pass more like a lot more feedback. We are also thinking of a few more opportunities, but I'm not really ready to share about them yet, which are going to be a few exclusive instances. Which tool are you using to check edit quality of a possible mega mapper, as you deprecated the one that you used till 2 years ago? So we're using some internal tools, right? Like, for the most part, we're gonna check volumes, but as I said, every community manager will be responsible for reviewing uh, potential mega mappers before they are announced. So it's not going to be completely based um, on number of edits. And as I said, it will be level 4 and up. So these should be for sure people that you already know. I don't expect that you guys will be very surprised when you see someone in that list, especially considering that we are taking into account the previous 6 months of edits. So it's not someone that just did a very large amount of edits for a week and that's it, and it didn't give the coordinators the chance to notice that there's something wrong about them. Last one. Thank you. Will a mega mapper get expanded edit area? Or is this still determined by coordinators? No, this is still determined by coordinators. Coordinators still regulate what happens within their countries and the map. So there's nothing. Nothing will. We won't interfere now with the communities. These are just people that, despite their editing area, they're having a huge impact. In a map, and they are super skillful when it comes to map editing.
One from the chat just about meetups.
All right, thank you.
Encourage Waze Cafe.
Yes. With regards to college year, is it that we need to start having more local meetups? And if so, how often should we try to meet up? So I think that it's always great to have more and more Waze cafes, and this is something that we want to encourage more in the second half of the year. And we do hope to see more Waze cafes now happening now that we're going to have culture chairs. We really expect that, since they're going to be handling a lot or helping a lot with the logistics, so this will take a burden away, and we'll see way more and more opportunities of you guys meeting and discussing and passing on the feedback, and the community growing organically. All right, so I think that my time is up. I thank you very much for all of your questions. Still, I would like to hear a lot more about this. So please feel free, and I ask you specifically to reach out to your community managers as soon as possible with feedback about this, since we are going to be launching this in very soon. Thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to Anat. Thank you. See you guys.
Thank you, Mao. It was great to hear about these exciting new roles, and it was great to see all the questions you brought up about them. Okay, so now let's take a few minutes to review the current state of mentoring programs and our plans for the second half of 2023. Let's start by explaining about the two separate mentoring programs that are currently running. We have an automated program and a manual program, and they're both running at the same time. If you're not a part of the manual mentoring program, when you hear us talking about mentoring, you're probably thinking about the Start Mentoring button in the editor's profile page with the option to find mentees and have them shown on your profile page. That's the automated mentoring program that allows mentors to reach out to new editors, but not the other way around. New editors can't ask for a mentor through it. Many of you probably heard from a mentor through this system, or you're a mentor who proactively reaches out to new editors through it. In addition to that system, we also have the manual mentoring program. The main advantage of the manual system is that it allows new editors to ask for a mentor. The manual program is where community members own two types of roles titled mentoring coordinators and mentors. The mentoring coordinators are in charge of connecting editors who ask for help with mentors. They do it through Google Sheets. That's why we call it the manual system. Sorry. Why do we have both the automated and manual systems running at the same time? Since each of the systems has its own upsides and downsides. For example, the automated system is convenient because it's automated, but it does not allow editors to ask for help. That's where the manual system comes in. It's built entirely on a form, allowing editors to ask for a mentor. Our vision is to have a unified mentoring flow and not need two systems sometime in the future. Just to set expectations, it's not a project we're currently working on, though. Now, let's talk about the manual mentoring flow. It starts when a person signs into WME for the first time. How exciting is that? We send them an email congratulating them and inviting them to ask for a mentor. The image shown on this slide is a screenshot of the email they get. Then, if the new editor is interested in being mentored, they fill out a form to ask for one. This screenshot is of the form they fill out to ask for a mentor. Once they submit the form, their request is sent to a spreadsheet, and a mentoring coordinator for their country gets the request. Each of our awesome mentoring coordinators have a sheet dedicated to requests that come in from their country. Our mentoring coordinators follow the sheets, even though notifications don't always work, and connect the new editors with a mentor. They often do the mentoring on their own as well. Now, you're probably wondering if this flow is even effective. So we checked and we know that it is. At the end of 2022, we ran a survey with everyone who asked for a mentor during that year. The results we got were amazing. We asked, how satisfied were you with the mentoring experience? And almost 85% were totally satisfied. 92% even said that they continued to edit Waze map even after the mentoring ended. Some of them do it every day. That means that thanks to our mentoring coordinators and mentors, we're able to help people sign into WME and may not know what to do there to learn how to edit and even join the community. That's amazing. So, dear mentoring coordinators and mentors, you rock. Thank you very much. And we'd like to extend this thanks to all mentors, regardless of the system, manual or automated. The fact that you take the time to help new editors learn the ropes is absolutely inspiring. Thank you. And now, about a recent campaign we ran to recruit more mentors. A few months ago, our mentoring coordinators mentioned that we need more mentors. So a few weeks ago, we launched a recruitment campaign. You may have heard about it and may have even applied. If you haven't and you're an L4 editor or higher and would like to help editors learn about WME in our communities, we invite you to apply to become a mentor. You can apply through the link that Danit just shared in the chat. Thank you, Danit. Mentors have a dedicated guide and communicate with their country's mentoring coordinator. So there's plenty of support going around for mentors. Okay, we're done talking about mentoring for now. Now, a few words about our plans for H2 before we hand it over to Talia and Judith. In H2, we plan to invest a lot in the growth of the editors community. Bringing in new editors is a major focus for us. We started to create the basis for several projects, and you'll see some of them launch in the coming months. And now, it's time to talk about a very exciting project that's going to have an amazing impact on editors. Suggest an edit. Talia, the project manager, and Judith, the UX designer for the project, are here with us to present this game-changing feature for WME. One reminder about the Q&A. We'll answer your questions for Suggest an Edit after Talia and Judith finishes presenting it. Please submit your questions through the link Danit shared in the chat earlier. And now, Talia and Judith, take it away.
Thank you, Annette. Really happy to be here today. So our agenda is short. We're going to describe the problem, the vision of how we're going to solve the problem, the solution, and we'll leave time for Q&A. I hope you'll have many good questions, as you always do. So next, please. Why are we working on Suggest and Edit? Next. So we have a permission system for the WME, as you all know, and it's great for map security and almost bulletproof. But the permission system, which is based both on geographical area of the editor and on the level of the editor, is limited in two main ways that you'll see next, Anat. Next. First, the editors who came to fix the issue can't contribute because of the map being locked. Most editors can't easily contribute their local knowledge to the map. We know that most of the country lock at least most of the segments to L2, but some even higher than that. That means that new editors come to WME, try to fix their house number or the entry to their business, or try to create a new road or whatever it would be, and they can't technically do it. That means that they can't graduate to the next level. They can't gain points. They can develop and advance in their growth path. and they lack the chance to learn from their experience and accumulate points to climb to the next rank. So this is something we need to solve. That's our main problem. We want to be able to reverse this issue. Next. Okay, this is how it looks today. So if a user comes and the map is locked, what he sees is a segment that most fields are disabled. There is a small message saying this segment is locked. The save button is disabled. And if he clicks the request to unlock, we have this very manual, cumbersome process that is not nearly as we want it to be. It was a placeholder for while working on suggest and edit, but we haven't started until now. So finally, we'll be able to get rid of this process, which basically what it does, creates a post in a forum, in the country's forum, and now from there on, the user is on his own. He needs to create the post, to write everything in it, and to hope for unlock, and then to follow this unlock, to create the edit, and then maybe the user will lock it again. So this is a process, that the funnel, that very hard to follow and to maintain. Next. Okay, so our vision is that everyone will be able to edit the map. All users can update any object on the map. Restricted users changes will be sent to non-restricted editor for review, which will be either approved or rejected before publishing. So that's our vision that we stated. Next, new editors will be able to complete what they came to do: fix a segment of a play or a place. Next, we will have better engagement and retention rates. Users will come because they succeed to do what they want. Mid-level editor will also increase their editing activity, because even if you're level 2 or 3, you have elements in the map which are locked and you can contribute more. Next. And higher level will help new user on board to the tool and to the community. This is also a type of mentorship in the sense that these editors will see these new editors, will be able to filter these suggestions, to start a conversation with these users, and to help them on board the WME community. Next. I think this goes to Judith.
Okay,
Again.
from the beginning. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm very glad to be here today, and thank you, Talia. So I will start with the solution. So the solution for this problem is to open the map for contribution by adding a review process. So when a restricted editor will be in the map, everything will be open for him. His first feeling will be that he's actually editing the map, but he will need to send the suggestions for review, and the review editor will review and decide if to reject or approve it. We also did a discovery call with the community before processing with this solution, and we know that the community will be happy to support and help the new editors by approving or reject suggestions. So as Talia mentioned earlier, the main goal is that everyone will be able to edit the map. So to support this goal, we created some principle. So the principle number 1 is we want it to be clear, so clarified that their changes will be reviewed before they are publishing. Number 2 is to set expectation and tell the users what will be next in the flow, and ensure communication. We want to allow easy communication between new editors and advanced editors. So when a restricted editor will log in to the WME, his first feeling will be that everything is editable. Everything is open, the save button is available, the left panel. And after he will click over on the save button, this pop-up will appear. And we added here in this pop-up a text box and we are asking the restricted editor to explain what they want to change. And this will help the review editor understanding what he wants to do, and it will help to make a better decision about if to approve or reject it. We also explaining to the restricted editors that the editors are volunteers, so it may take some time before their suggestions will be reviewed. And we approved also the save button by clearly explain what was changed. So
in this example, the speed limit was changed from 50 to 60. Now let's move to the reviewer editor. So when the reviewer editor is a local volunteer editor that want to approve or reject some suggestions. When he's entering to the WME in the issue tracker tab, we will have a new tab called Edit Suggestions. It will be merged with Koi-fish. So in one tab, we will have Koi-fish suggestions and suggestions from restricted editor. Also, we created indication on the map, so it will be easy for editors that prefer to search and explore on the map suggestions and by clicking to approve or reject them. So by clicking on the card, one second.
Can I help you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there it is.
So, yeah. So by clicking on the card, more details will appear. So the reviewer editor will be able to see the note from the editor. This is the note that the restricted editor add in the save button. And to review the changes and based on it to decide if you want to approve or reject the suggestions. Also, we want to ensure communication. So we added an easy option to start chatting with a new editor in the approved flow and also by rejecting and also from this card. So we want that a new editor, expert editor will be able to get feedback to the new editor, and the new editor will be able to ask more questions. And we believe that by making the communication more easier, more organic mentorship will start. So this is from the UX side. Thank you. Now I will move the mic to Anna.
Yes. Okay. So Danit will now show us the slides, the question slide. Let's see if anything came up, and if not, we noticed some questions that came up from chat. Okay. Here's the first question. I'm going to read it, and Talia or you, D2, you can choose who will answer it. Will there be a notification to approving editors, or will the requests languish on the map like PORs do currently until someone finds them?
So I'm not sure I understand which direction this question is towards. The idea is that issue tracker is supposed to help you guys find new suggestions on the map. So suggest and edit will be part of the issue tracker. The user will be able to search a suggestion that he can manage. That means from specific level and specific type of suggestion in specific area. So if someone cares about a specific city, you look for all the suggestions created in a specific time. Getting notification on anything that happens on the map is in our roadmap, but not for this year, unfortunately.
Okay, next question. Thank you, Talia. Will there be the ability to line item, accept or reject an edit? For example, if an editor suggests changing the speed limit and road type of a segment, but the only thing that needs to be changed is the speed limit, we accept speed limit and reject the road type.
So this is what we call partial exception. The idea is that what we will do, a user will submit a full transaction. That means information on a segment and also maybe other segments. And the ability to accept or reject parts will be bundled to a specific map element. So that's very similar to what you have in the save dialog. You can see what's bundled and you can delete it. That will be the same mechanism in the first part.
Thank you, Talia. What is the level for manage map suggestions from Google? I think it's a Koi-fish question.
Maybe. I'm not sure about the answer though. I don't know what level it's open to.
Yeah, me neither. Sorry, but we can look into it. Next question. Who will review the map change suggestions? Can these, the lock level, be defined by the country manager?
I'm not sure I understand the question. The lock levels are not going to be changed. The map is going to be locked the same. Level 1 will join the map editor and will be able to edit as you would any segments which are locked to level 1. But if a segment is locked to level 2, you can suggest an edit. So there is no difference in lock levels of the segments for now.
Okay. Thank you, Talia. Next question. Donit, is there anything else on the slides? Or should we go over the chat questions?
Go and one for more.
Okay, perfect. So should we just read them out loud, or will you highlight them? Whatever you prefer. Okay. Lisa's asking, is there a timeline for when these will be available in WME?
So these are currently in development. Our idea is that by the end of the year, we will be starting with some parts of the suggestion around the segment and the nodes around it and the turns. And later on, we'll add more elements to suggestions flow.
Perfect, thank you. Next up, Danity? Do you want me to highlight them? Oh, okay, thank you. Could this edit suggestion method become a core part of mentoring also?
Do you want to answer on that, or do you want me to answer?
We have a long vision. Mentoring is very dear to my heart. That's why, Talia, now move the question over to me. We have a long term. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so on the native part of the feature, and you can talk about mentoring, we understand that we think that this will create relationship between users, because editors will see new users, will be able to filter the suggestion by the type of the users and start a conversation with them and ad hoc mentor them. We are starting the conversation about how will this be a process and how will you create this conversation and make it into a real mentorship relationship, like an official mentor and mentee. If you want to add anything, that's good.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. Okay, next question. Will we be able to suggest an edit outside of our area that we can edit in? You were talking about that L1 can suggest stuff for higher levels to edit, but what if we see something, for example, through satellite image, and we want someone to check on it?
Yeah, so definitely this is also be part of what this feature will include. We had debates of if we want to let a user suggest an edit everywhere in the world or just in areas in the country that they don't have permission. For now, we are leaning towards letting them suggest everywhere, because maybe they travel there and they know, but this is something we haven't decided on finally yet, like a final decision.
Thank you. Thank you, Danit. A question from John. Any level editor can review and say, oh, he was actually responding to another question. So thank you, John, for answering other people in the conversation. Let's see. So that's a question we already answered. Thank you. Please increase the size of the sent chat message field, as it's difficult to write long messages there. Talia, are we taking suggestions now?
Yeah, always.
Thank you.
And here's a question from Silvio. Let's say is more or less what was happening in the past with Cartouche.
Truth is, I've been here for a decade, but I haven't been part of Cartouche, so I don't know.
Okay. Will both the suggester and the person accepting get edits from the suggestion feature, or just one of them?
So I assume edit points. So both the suggester and the person accepting will get points. This is something we're defining. Probably when suggesting, it will be like 1 point. If the edit is being approved, both of the users will get the edit points. If it's been rejected, then only the reviewer will get the points for rejecting it.
Perfect, thank you. Next question. Do we have anything on the slides?
No.
Okay, so let's look over at the chat. I'm scrolling a bit higher to see if we missed anything.
I saw a question before.
Read it, it's okay.
Just a second.
Who will review?
So there was a question, is there going to be a way to disable this functionality from users that make too many bad suggestions? So yes, for sure. One of the rejection reasons will be if the approver will have to decide, the reviewer will have to decide while rejecting if one of the reasons is it rejecting for spam or for community guidelines or for data is wrong. So if we will see a user is creating spam, we will block this user from suggesting for sure.
Will new editors providing suggestions be able to earn edit area where they are helping with edits?
So I'm not sure what does earn edit area means. Maybe edit permissions in this area. This is something we haven't thought about, creating edit permission where the area your suggestion have been approved. This is not part of what we thought about.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I saw one on chat, so I'm going to click show now. Will the L2 locked object edit suggestions go to L2 plus editors?
Yeah. So the idea is that every suggestion on even if segment is locked on level 3 and a user is L2 and he suggests an edit, the user on the other side will be who is level 3 and above will be able to approve these suggestions.
Perfect. So here's a very related question. Are all higher level editors going to review the suggestions from editors?
Right. So level 2 will be able to suggest segments level 1 and above, and A1, 1 and 2, and 3, 2 and above, etc.
Okay, perfect. And here's a following question. Any place where the editor can follow up his change requests?
So so the all suggestion will be part of the issue tracker. So an editor will be able to filter out all suggestions created by himself and see their status if it's open, rejected, or approved. I see another question, or maybe a comment. I guess at 6:29.
629. You can read it out loud and I'll show it when I see it.
I guess there are a lot of ways of reporting URs and unknown here. Yeah, an unknown, they can edit the map. So I guess they could be informed to visit the editor when they report a map problem from the app. This is also something we've been talking about. So that's nice that you picked it up. We're going to add in the next couple of months a flow that when a user reports from the app, we'll send him an email or a push notification saying that that the editor exists, that he can try to do it by himself. That an editor will send him a comment later on, maybe. So this is something we're going to pick up, and we're going to have also other flows, I hope, in the mobile that will let users understand the connection between reporting URs, suggesting edits, and maybe some elements of these suggested edit will be part of the mobile flow. We won't let users create full transaction, but for example, maybe edit only an entry point for a venue, only house number is something we can easily add as a mobile flow.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Talia. We're going to take the two last questions that came up during the chat, so no need to submit any new questions. This is a question for you, Deet. Is it possible to enable a search bar in the chat to search for editors by their nicknames?
This is a good suggestion, so I will look into it. Thank you.
Okay, so here's another question that came up, and I think this will be the last. A few more? Okay, the need is allowing us to take a few more. Yanis is asking, will editors, reviewers be able to filter suggestions for their editable areas? Issue Tracker is not supporting that, and it is making things harder.
Oh, I know the request of this filter request on look, I want to see only URs in my editable area. So this is a request we have on our backlog. I hope we'll get to it not soon, later. We need to add it in the issue tracker. It's a request on our backlog. It's prioritized but not super high. I hope to get to it in this year.
Okay, thank you, Talia. The next one is a comment. Let's read it out loud just to make sure. Edit area is usually earned by driving or by having an area being created for the editor. Maybe nice to have WME contributors earning area by providing good edits in an area. This connects to the idea that came up earlier. Okay, another question from Mikhail. What is the behavior for multiple suggested edits on the same project?
So we had many discussions on this. In the beginning, we wanted to block the ability to suggest more than one suggestion per element, but we've decided not to do it. The idea is that if someone will have many suggestions on an element, that's okay. The reviewer will be able to see them like we have many suggestions on the place update request, and they will be able to accept or reject each one separately. If there will be a conflict, then one will override the other one. So there will be edge cases where we won't support these, but the idea is not to lock the segments to more suggestions.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Talia. And that was our last question for today and right on time. So this is our chance to, wait, I'll hide this question. And let's move over to the slide that says thank you. Just a second. You can stay on screen, Yudit. Danit, do you also want to join the screen to say thank you to everyone? We can end the broadcast from here. So I welcome you to join so everyone sees you. So this was a very fun office hours for us to hold with Mauro and Talia and Judith and myself. And I see Danit being shy over there, but imagine her also in the background doing all the hard stuff for us. We want to thank you very much for joining us today. We're very excited about all these amazing new things that are coming up in H2. Have a great day, evening, night. Thank you for all your contributions. And bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.